Welcome to Two Sisters Podcast with your hosts, Kristy and Melissa, who are real sisters bringing you real talk about life and faith through humor, insight, and community. Now, let's get into this week's episode.
What's up, guys? It's Melissa
and Kristy,
and welcome to Two Sisters Podcast. So, this is the question and answers. Remember, this season this season theme is coaching sessions. So we are basically just taking the questions that we receive, by clients or email or what have you. We're just answering those questions, kind of like basically helping the client navigate through whatever issue they're having. So with that being said, for this particular Q&A, I did receive the questions. I actually received a few questions, but I will address one of the questions. And that question is, she asked me, what is resentment? How do you know that you have resentment or have some type of resentment? And we can go through the whole dictionary and all of that. Well, I can ask you, Kristy, do you have no? You don't have no definition?
I don't have no dictionary definition.
Okay. Well, so for me, what I basically explained to her in layman's terms is that I feel like resentment it means what it means, but as far as identifying whether or not, because I believe that's her core question, identifying whether you have built up resentment for something or for someone, there are certain, I feel like, sign tells. And also, sometimes to me, it's not always just a cut and dry thing. I think and believe sometimes it's it it has variables. Meaning, when I say that, I mean that depending on the situation, like resentment, I guess what would be the core, main thread of resentment? Like held on grudge, bitterness, anger.
Yeah, like when I think about the word resentment, I think about that you're holding a grudge
And becoming bitter
against a particular person. And so you're holding a grudge based on an act that they did to you, be that something they said, something they did, some type of action, and you are holding it against them.
Okay.
Continuously in your heart, mind, and soul.
Right. So I just wanted to kind of...
So that is resentment.
Given a core, or our definition of a core definition of resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, the reason why I say that, given her different scenarios as to how she can identify that she have even resentment in the first place, and also the variables that I was talking about. In her particular situation, is basically the resentment comes in because her friendship, the dynamics of her friendship change. So basically, and I feel like this is with friends. So you have two single friends one single friend stays single and then the other friend becomes married or get married. The dynamics of their friendship will change. Okay, say like you have a friend that you grew up with from elementary school through high school through college, and you friends basically all your life. And then this friend, basically your belief system changes, which means her priorities is not you anymore. Okay, so basically the friendship dynamic changed for her. And I don't think that she realized over time that she started to resent her friend, because it was like one day they're besties and then the next day she had no time for her. And there was no point of conversation or there was no warning for her. I think that's the better way to say it. There was no warning that this change will happen. And over time, I just think that her feelings changed towards her, and she did not realize her feelings towards her. And then recently, she realized that she has some type of resentment towards her because she no longer have that same space, or she realized that she's not a priority in on her friends list of priorities. Basically, she's like not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's definitely not a top priority, and so that made her feel like a certain kind of way. Like I think people say like be in your feelings. I think she was in her feelings because of that. So that was the situation, or that was the question that I received about resentment. How do I know? And it's like, like some of the signs that I say that she, I think, missed. The first thing is that, of course, of identifying it or acknowledging that you do feel that. So for me, to her, it was jealousy. I believe that she became jealous and did not acknowledge her feelings, that that's what it was. So basically she denied her what she really was feeling. And over time that jealousy became resentment. So that's what I mean by variables. I don't think it's sometimes a clear cut, oh, I don't like it and I'm holding a grudge. It's literally stemmed from some type of emotion that is unaddressed, and it becomes resentment. Did I explain it right?
I believe so, because you said it
Okay.
has variables.
Yeah. So that was my example with this particular coaching session, just to like give her kind of a insight as to emotions she didn't check. She didn't check it, and also too, when we go with emotions unchecked, and especially being Christians, and this is women of faith, when you don't check your emotions by the word of God, like you start to lean more towards your natural instinct to retaliate as far as emotional, like emotional retaliation. It's like you're getting your feelings, you'll get offended, and then start to lash out instead of first of all acknowledging the fact of how you feel and dealing with your own emotions first, and then coming to that other person as a mature adult and then speak about what you're feeling, how things have changed, and how can you come to a middle of the line kind of agreement where you both can still maintain the integrity of your friendship if you both want it still. So sometimes, things may happen where you just have to part your ways, but if you're still friends and want to remain friends, and that other person have things going on and things that change in her life, then you basically have to grow with them or evolve with them. So it's just a conversation. But first you have to acknowledge the fact that you even feel the way you feel, deal with your own emotions, and the fact that you got to allow the person to do things that you may not necessarily agree with. Basically, people are grown, they will do as they see fit, and they will do what they believe is best for them. So that is my answer. Chris, do you have anything you want to share or add?
No, ma'am.
Well, all right. Well, Krista, you ain't got nothing.
I gave the definition of resentment.
She quiet on this one, guys. Well, it was kind of my question, so but still, okay. But anyway, guys, that's it. Again, thank you guys.
I mean, I do think you made a great point when you said at the end of the day, basically, you can't um, dictate how someone is going to treat you,
Right.
or
Well,
you can't dictate how someone's going to treat you. Like you can't control how someone's going to treat you. Basically, they're going to be them. They're free thinking, free willing self, and you can respond accordingly. You know what I mean?
okay, I understand what you're
That's what
saying.
I'm saying. Like you
Okay.
cannot. If a person is wicked, they wicked. If a person is evil, they evil. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
You can't control their lack of evilness, is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control their, you know, emotions that may affect you, their negative emotions that may affect you. You know, you can only control yourself
Your response.
and your response
Mm-hmm.
to what's going on, you know, in your environment.
Right.
Be that somebody from work, be that somebody from your home, be that a stranger on the street. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can control how you are responding to different life situations and evaluate it intelligently, you know what I mean, and emotionally, maturely,
Mm-hmm.
and go from there. If you had a part to play, and if you need to evaluate whether you're being petty or resentful or, you know, holding a grudge against somebody, only you know that. But you have to maturely have that conversation with yourself,
Right.
you know, and you have to base that on godly principles and values that He have given to us. And so, you know, the Word will shine a light on our heart
Mm-hmm.
to let us know when we, you know, when we're tripping, when we're wrong, when we're not doing our best or being our best or even halfway being our best.
Yeah, being Christ-like. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great point. And yeah, great point. So yeah, that's it, guys. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for submitting your questions. We will have the Q&As is every third Thursday. So if you want to, you can just, like I said, submit your questions by email at podcast.twosisters@gmail. You can do it through our website, which is www.twosisterspodcast.net. Again, thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Sisters Podcast, where we hope to encourage you on your journey of transformation and healing while having fun along the way. Follow us on IG and Twitter. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. It's available on all major podcast providers. Just search for Two Sisters Podcast. Till next time.